Video time again. So, doing a little video on the gearbox conversions for the Supras. The BMW 6-speed box, really popular at the moment. A lot of people are doing them. I've converted quite a lot of cars myself, and I've learned a few things. So I thought I'd pass that on to anybody thinking of doing it themselves, because it could save you a bit of a headache like the one I had yesterday. I'll tell you about yesterday in a moment when I talk you through this car on the ramp. But yeah, the 6-speed diesel BMW boxes, really good, really strong. Cheap boxes, quite expensive to get them in there the first time with the conversion kits and custom bits made up and the labour. But once they're in, if you've got a powerful car and you're getting them through boxes, once you go in, £300 a pop, and once the conversion kit's in, they'll go in nice and easy. So let's talk you through the problem we found yesterday to prevent anybody else doing the same thing. So a little swing over here. There's the car up on the ramp. So, as you can see, under the car, we've got a nice bright orange BMW box, but as you'll see on this sticker, that part of the code there, that's the problem, the HAF. It took me a long time to get this box to physically fit. By no means did it just fall in, I think you see up there. I've had to trim a bit of the casing away. Basically this isn't the right adapter kit. PMC have never fitted a HAF box to a Supra, so we were the first to try it, stupidly. But yeah, it took a long time to get it to physically go in. The problem was I get the box all in place and it's really tight, mega tight. There's not much room for fingers, and especially when the box is back, getting it up there's hard. Getting it to mate up to the engine, I get it quite close and it'd stop, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So after much shifting around, I shifted the flex plate back on a thinner shim, moved the starter motor back. It was close but still no damage. Then I noticed that the clutch plate, I'll put a photograph up on my page of the clutch and flywheel assembly on these kits. They are massive. It comes back here somewhere. And the clutch plate was touching inside the box. There's a casting for the snout of the selector shaft, and it was touching that before the gearbox could mate to the engine, so there was a gap. You can see through the old starter motor hole there. To give you an idea, that's the back of the flywheel we're looking at, so you can see how far out it sticks. There's the clutch down there. So, I thought, as I'm not one to give up, I don't like to give up easily, I thought, well, let's see if we can make it work. So I took the box back off. I must have had that box in and out of that car 20 times yesterday, and believe me, that's a heavy unit. It wasn't fun. Feels like I've done a full shoulder day in the gym. Long time ago, the last one. So yeah, that was the plan. Took the box back out, shortened the casting, ground it back down. Actually took the casting off, shortened the snout on the selector shaft nose. It's longer than it needs to be, so I was able to shorten that a bit, get it back in, and I got the box physically on the engine, which is great. Really proud of myself for that. Spun the engine over, and you can hear the engine is, not the engine, you can hear the clutch cover plate is rubbing on the back of the box still, so that's a no. So basically, I'll give all I found to PMC, because the HAF box is from a 1 series, incidentally not a 5 series. And if they do become popular, they will work with a bit of modification and a slightly modified conversion kit. So I'll pass over my findings to them, and hopefully there'll be an off-the-shelf kit available for that box. Ratio-wise, can't comment, can't drive it because it's rubbing. But we did actually order, the customer ordered the HGU box, HGD, sorry, my mistake, HGD box. And that's the box I'd recommend you use if you want to do this kit. I'd definitely say stick with the HGD box, because I fitted 3. They go in really nice with the PMC kit, they work really well. No issues, the ratios are quite decent, depending even on the shorter diff. They're quite short geared, but it's still nice and drivable. But yeah, basically the breakers yard, this is a problem I've had a lot. The last car I did is outside, it's Damon's car, quite a well-known car. I ordered 3 gearboxes from different breakers. I'm wandering around, I don't know why I'm wandering around somewhere. One of the biggest things you need to do is not only your mind wander when you're doing this kind of work or making videos, because at the moment, I don't know if any of have you seen the David Guetta video with Akon and Neo? Have you seen the Work It Out? I don't know what the song's called. They got those really long shoes, the Mexican style shoes that curve up the front, and I just want a pair so badly. I don't know why I want them or what I do with them, but I just really want them. But yeah, it's really important not to let your mind wander and to stay on the game. Where was I? So yeah. Anyway, breakers. I've heard the same thing from so many breakers. You order a gearbox, and because they're all GS653s, the breakers think they're the same box. I'll let you in on a trade secret, and don't let us go too far because I'll get kicked out of the magic circle. They use a different part number, be it HGD, HAF, HGS, because there's differences. That's why they give them a different number, because they're not the same. Regardless of what the people at the scrapyard you're buying them from will tell you, they are not the same. That box is physically thicker than a HGD, and it feels heavy. I don't know if it's so tired, but it feels heavier. The bell housing is definitely much shallower. Yeah, they come with different thicknesses, weights, splines, ratios. They're not the same. Stick to the HGD and it'll work. We know it. I mean, there's others that will work also. Not just saying it's, I think it's a JAF. There's a lot of variants. But the HAF doesn't work. The 1 series boxes don't fit. So if you're thinking of getting one because they're a bit cheaper and they're ready available, until the kit's been made for them, just don't. You'll have a massive headache and waste 12 hours of your life that you'll never get back. But yeah, that's that. So hopefully this will solve a problem or prevent somebody going through that nightmare. Saying if you get it in, if you're not aware and you think, oh, it's in, I'll give it a bit of a ram on with a bolt, span the engine up, and you'll tear the clutch plate to pieces and blood splatter death, and you'll ruin your gearbox and everything will be ruined. So if I can save somebody that headache, that's great. But yeah, frustrating day yesterday. I mean, luckily where we're located, we're on a farm park, which is like a family attraction. And just around the back, if any of you've got kids, over there, round that way, there's a really nice petting zoo, and they just had a load of baby goats, and they are the cutest little. I mean, I'm just so in love with these baby goats, so I can go for a walk, smooth the goats, interview a duck, and I'll come back calmer and be able to carry on. But you know, let's not wander again. Actually, I'll put a little video up of the goats, and anybody that likes cars and likes baby goats, have a look through the videos, because I'm going to post the video of the baby goats because they're too cute not to post. They're amazing. So yeah, the plan is now, I'll have ordered we're going to another gearbox for this car, which is the HGD. Put it in, it'll work. It's custom prop, custom bracket. Everybody's happy. Happy days. On to the next one. But